I'm going to read Spark number 3. Spark is a written document written by Possibility Management and designed as adult initiation process suggestion for experiments. It has an introduction into the topic, such as, let's say, expectations, boxes, and so on. So yeah, I've been and then there are experiments. So yeah, I've been studying the technology of the boxes, of my own boxes and others people, and I came across this is really relevant to me at this point of my life, and I want to try some experiments. So I will read now the Spark itself. So the number 3 distinction: problems with people come from expecting they should be different from their box. So box is something that like I carry box, like things should be this way, or cultural box, like if, for example, let's say I'm Indian, I expect people to dress certain way, and so on. So notes: if you stop expecting other people to change, you will stop having people problems. This includes relationships with your colleagues, your superiors, your team members, your parents, your children, your spouse, and so on. If your expectations feel fully justified, even if your expectations feel fully justified, the expectation itself puts you into a bind. You may think, if someone makes a mess, I expect them to clean it up. If someone gives me a promise, I expect him or her to keep their word. If someone agrees to do a job, I expect them to be reasonable about it. This appears to be very reasonable expectations, but a possibility manager recognizes the self-generated trap of the mechanics of expectation and can no longer afford to go there. Just to say here, the paragraph has finished, and just to say, possibility manager is someone who practice the guidance, or how to say, distinctions from possibility management, something that helps you to initiate yourself as an adult in the modern culture that, yeah, we can easily be behaving childishly and we still can function very well. Where at this point, yeah, they suggest it's really better to become more responsible as an adult, and there is a new possibility in life to be more adult that can play adult fun, but real adult and beyond that, meaning living more your archetypal lineage purpose, or doing something for greater good that you can only realize and realign yourself into once you are more practicing what it is to be a responsible adult. Anyway, the trap of expectation is this: anybody can make an expectation about anything. So what? Making an expectation is you're assuming that a fantasy is a reality. Believing that your expectation is true disconnects you from what is actually so. By holding on to expectation, you lose your leverage point for making real things happen. People are what they are, and people are not what they are not. Each of us has a box, and the box is the box. Expecting that things should be otherwise is a fantasy. No matter how tempting the fantasy is, a fantasy is still fantasy. It is true that you are not your box. It's also true that you start out solidly identified with your box, just like everyone else. Shifting identity from being identified with one box to being identified with another box is a high-level possibility manager skill that requires training and practice on the same level of sophistication as learning to drive a car. Expecting a person to act in some way other than as dictated by their box is the equivalent of driving into a brick wall, expecting it to be a road. Possibly, but not very likely, and experiments are coming. So I will read the experiments. So expecting a person to act in some way other than as dictated by their box is the equivalent of driving into a brick wall, expecting it to be a road. Possible, but not very likely. So the experiments I will read in the part 2, which I'm gonna myself do. The experiments are really interesting. What to write and what to do practically in a real life. And I just want to say about the box. Yes, we have all the boxes, and we all have the boxes, and all the boxes, and yeah. So there are also experiments for that to write down how my box feels like, look like, and it's a very interesting experiment also to write this down with other people, let's say.